And welcome back. A happy birthday to, and I shorten your name because I don't want to butcher your name, Shun B. It's a much longer name, but you actually gave me this request for yesterday, but because I have a new job, so my schedule is not consistent with this job. So there are days where I can get everything done, and there are days where I'm tired, like okay, I can't get this done. So yeah, but because you gave the request to me well in advance, I I felt yeah, no, I can do it. It felt like it was a major request or anything. It was just you're asking the question. Who wins in a fight? Laughing Jack from Creepypasta versus Art the Clown from the Terrifier series. And this one probably could have gone in a speed round if I had gotten it naturally. Art the Clown is a serial killer who looks like a clown. Now, that being said, he was human at one point, but is now a demon. It is confirmed Art is a demon. He is sadistic. He has a warped sense of humor. He enjoys the pain he causes. He will kill you in a number of just horrifying ways. He's a menacing psychopath, more or less. But Art does suffer from actually a lot of weaknesses. Art, despite being a demon, let me put it this way: being a demon doesn't actually help him that much in a fight. He's not actually that much stronger than a normal person. In fact, he's really not much stronger than a person his build. He's actually not more durable than a normal person. What that it just allows him to do, from what I can tell in the movies, is even if he's killed, he will be able to resurrect in some fashion. That's why he just keeps coming back. But otherwise, he's really not that strong of a character. Hell, we've seen characters who, by all accounts, shouldn't be able to beat him. He's also a coward. The minute he realizes, oh, I'm getting hurt, he like tries to, back off and be like, no, please don't hurt me. And then he'll try to underhand and like backstab you literally. So he's not all effective in an actual fight because really what he's doing is using his appearance and usually an axe or a weapon to just overwhelm someone. So despite that idea is a terrifying figure, he's also kind of a bitch. A little bit in terms of horror movie characters. The reason, though, that this, I think, would have probably gone to speed rounds is that when we deal with Laughing Jack, he's a different monster entirely. Laughing Jack was originally a imaginary friend to a little boy in his story, but the boy forgot about him. So eventually he feels hurt, betrayed, left behind, and he's now become a sadistic killer clown who seeks to murder young children. Now, as a magical being, he has actually a lot of dark powers, including demonic magic, which takes many different forms, dark magic, teleportation, he's charismatic, manipulative, he has trickery, murdering skill, telekinesis, creating nightmares and hallucination, and invisibility. In terms of a kit, he completely trumps Art. Even if I'm missing a few things on Art, by the way, I could be. In fact, why don't I just, I'm going to be nice and be sure that I did not get Art wrong. I don't think I got Art wrong. Because even though Art is relatively new for me to be talking about on the channel, Art the Clown, he's still one of those characters where I feel like he's simple enough that I can figure out all I need to know about him. Okay, all right, there you go, Art the Clown. But yeah, so Laughing Jack already being an imaginary being or an imaginary friend is a being who's just got power that is not is way out of Art's like wheelhouse for dealing with people. Like normally he just deals with regular people. Even when he deals with like enhanced people or whatever. Like when he dealt, I think, with the girl who got the blessing of the angels, or I can't remember exactly what that was about. I know something to do with angels was involved. Okay, all right then. All right, hold on. Now, normally, his powers and abilities are very limited to just physicality, to he can saw a woman in half, sure, and cut a hand with a single swing of a meat cleaver. But yeah, you're using weapons of that. That is, and destroy a skull and jaw with three stomps. Yeah, okay. They say brute strength. That's not okay. I don't want to sound grim, morbid, or hype myself up. And three stomps, yeah, I could probably do that too. It might take a little effort, but I could probably do it. You're saying, say powers of brute strength. No, you're saying you're using weaponry here. Yeah, it takes some strength even with the weaponry, but still. Near human durability, because that catches by being beaten by a plank. That's not durability. Being stabbed in the foot and was even able to chase Victoria despite being stabbed through the eye, being more annoyed than affected. Whoever wrote this wiki, it's the villain wiki, and usually the villain wiki is pretty good. Whoever actually wrote this freaking wiki doesn't quite understand what powers are and abilities. You could maybe say endurance. I'd put that under endurance, not durability, because a plank of wood is something that's not that hard to survive against. The being stabbed in the foot, I'll give you that. If he's still running like normal, that one I'll give you. That's pain tolerance, though. I'd put that under pain tolerance and resistance. The stab through the eye, too, that's not durability. I didn't take that. The stab through the eye is, ow, you son of the... That's pain tolerance. That's not durability. Someone needs to check their facts on what those things mean. All right, but that being said, post-resurrection, Art cracked open a man's skull with a teeny hammer before tearing it open with his bare hands, stabbing a broken piece of a mop into a man's head. Broken tore off a woman's arm by the elbow before tearing the other arm in half horizontally. Easily fragmented a car window with two punches while laughing. Tore open a woman's ribcage and knocked a door. Okay, so apparently post-resurrection, after being resurrected, his strength went up because those are all much more feats of enhanced strength. Rather than what they were saying with the pre-resurrection. Superior durability, survived a point-blank shot with a sawed-off shotgun. Okay, there you go. Being stabbed in the head twice, only knocked out him briefly, and surviving sliced in the neck twice, and even after being decapitated and getting shot in the stomach is unaffected. He even survived decapitation. Okay, all right. Regeneration, incredible healing skills, having recovered from shooting himself through the head, albeit after an unknown amount of time. Regenerated from having his eye ripped out. All right, Terrifier 3 reattached his head after being decapitated and seemingly healed after Selena slashed his throat. Body control in Terrifier 3, he can still move his body despite having no head, even continue to live as a severed head. He has enhanced senses, self-sustenance. He sat in a chair for 5 years without eating, drinking, or even blinking, yet almost instantly woke up up to murder Dennis without issue. And he has in Terrifier 3, while in her dream, a character's dream, caused the candle to burst into a large flame. So, apparently he actually has reality warping powers on Hallows' Eve only. But after his resurrection, he has become more... See, this is why researchers... People say, don't you have movie knowledge or comic knowledge? I do. But sometimes I don't know everything, so I gotta do research. So apparently he is a lot more powerful now. Definitely. That said, if this fight is not taking place on All Hallows' Eve, even with all of these powers and enhancements he has going for him now, it'd be hard for Laughing Jack to put him down, certainly. But if he figures out, he can survive without his head. Well, can you survive your arms? Yoink! Oh, you can do that too. Can you survive without your legs? And that's like they're all crawling around. All right, and just sticks them to a wall like a bug in an exhibit. Just bum, 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 bum. I still don't see Art making it out of this, basically because while he is very hard to put down, he could still be defeated. There's a difference between death and defeat, obviously. Defeat and death can be tied together in these circumstances, but ultimately, he doesn't have a good way to put down Laughing Jack, who's not a physical being in the traditional sense. Just because he's can take a physical form doesn't mean just trying to stab him or rip him apart would work. He's clearly a magical entity. So, but it doesn't mean he complete. I mean, his durability would probably throw Laughing Jack for a little bit of a loop, to be fair. He would probably, he'd probably be able to, he'd probably be able to not outlast. He'd probably be able to keep going for a while against Laughing Jack until Laughing Jack finally figured out what was going on or figured out the trick behind him. And they're like, oh, okay, so you can even survive decapitation. Well, why don't we just slice you up? Not that he could do that automatically, but with his magic hallucinations, which as far as we can tell, would still affect Art. He has enhanced senses. Art could walk and move casually despite having a head, even managing to find and murder police officers despite having no eyes. He managed to find a laundromat despite lacking an eye and having a bullet in his in the hole in his skull. That doesn't mean illusions in theory can't work on him. He is, and like again, he is a demon after all at this point. Occupation, supernatural killer, demon implied. Well, apparently the demon thing is implied. But yeah. So yeah, I'd still put this on Laughing Jack's side of the fence. But now I got a bit more of a picture on him. It is it isn't as easy as a fight as I probably would have made it. I probably wouldn't have put this in the speed round looking at it now. Art has enough magical abilities. He's got enough creativity. Hell, he can just be invisible, which, yes, he's got enhanced senses. He can see basically without eyes. That doesn't mean he can see something that's invisible, especially if he's not looking for it or aware of it at the time. But he is also supernatural in his own right, so maybe he senses him. But even if he senses him, maybe even if he puts an axe into Laughing Jack, it's kind of irrelevant because Laughing Jack is not the same type of being as he is, nor is he a human at all. So there's nothing to say. I'll just ask the question: can you kill Laughing Jack? Uh, Come on. Let's see here. Laughing Jack can. All right, now. Oh, great. Now there we go. Come on. Let's see. Can you kill Laughing Jack? I hate when that happens. I forgot to do a space button. So give me 1 second here. Can you kill Laughing Jack? Okay. As a fictional character from Creepy Jack is not a real being and therefore cannot be physically harmed. Okay, yeah, whatever. When the narrative is mentioned, Laughing Jack was initially created by as a magical imaginary friend with his powers were potentially tied to his original form and the child he was connected to. Based on the fan discussion and interpretations within the creepypasta community, which is something we would have to go off of because this is all fan created. Some theories suggest a possible way to defeat or weaken Jack, just ways to defeat or weaken him, just as destroying his homeworld, showing what. Some theories suggest possible ways to defeat him, such as destroying his homeworld, showing him love to revert him back to his original form, or using an exorcism due to his demonic nature. However, none of these methods are explicitly confirmed within the original story. It's important to remember these are elements of a fictional story, and Laughing Jack, its vulnerability or invulnerability depends entirely on the narrative and choices of the creator and fans. Yeah, thank you. And I mean, to be fair, that was a little AI overview, but they're completely right on that actually because creepypasta is legitimately a fan made thing. It's up to the fans to interpret if he is able to stop. It's up for them to decide whether or not how he can be stopped. That being said, though, there being an imaginary being does make sense with some demonic nature. So exorcisms, destroying whatever his homeworld is, love to revert into his original form. A more powerful, magical, demonic individual, or even a holy individual might work. Apparently, he said he may have ties to Lucifer. All that being said, Art isn't going to be having any of that. He's not going to be exercising him, certainly not. He's not going to be showing him love. And wherever his homeworld is, it's not like Art's going to be able to home in on that, or whatever that may be. So, yeah, unfortunately, I think Art's kind of screwed in this fight. It's just going to be him trying to hit this clown, maybe even looking at even like cutting him. And Art is acknowledging, he cut me. My turn. Sink. So it's going to be one of those things. Like Art can survive the fight, sure, but surviving doesn't mean winning. And eventually, I think Laughing Jack is just going to turn him into like either a pincushion or a display piece for dissection. Anyway, I'm giving it to Art the Clown. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Happy birthday. And I'll see you guys later for both What If and my review for Weapons later today. Later.